What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 19 Ultimate Team video. Today, we're doing a tier list. I'm sure you guys have seen these on YouTube. There's tons of them out there. But we're going to do a tier list using tiermaker.com. We made this one ourselves, ranking all of the quarterbacks in all the top quarterbacks from each team. So every team should be represented at least once in this list. That was the idea behind it. I didn't want to put, like, obviously all the quarterbacks. So a lot of these quarterbacks are good. We're ranking them from S to D tier. Let me know if you want. Again, this is up to you. On Twitter, do one of these yourselves and send it to me at ChewbaccaLemma. It'll probably take you, 10 minutes. At ChewbaccaLemma, my Twitter is also down below. And tweet it at me what your list would look like. You can use my own that I created. I'd be interested to see how different your guys' are compared to mine. But let's go ahead and dive into it. I did this once already, and it took like almost a half hour, so I'm going to try to be a little bit more precise and make this a little bit quicker. So let's go ahead and start off with Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger, 75 speed, great throw power, great break sack, great everything, but the problem is speed at 75, and I did say every team is represented. There's somebody else you could use besides Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. If you're running a Steelers team or just any team at all, there's a better option. So I do think that does hurt him a little bit, and you could honestly argue a D tier just because you have a better option at quarterback. But he is better than quarterbacks that we will see in the D tiers, so we'll put him in the C. But you could actually make the case for D just based on if you run a Steelers team, like, you probably not using Ben Roethlisberger. He'll be a backup, so that's just my thought. But obviously, Big Ben, he's all right. Next up, we have Tom Brady. Tom Brady obviously can make all the throws. Great there. 67 speed, 73 break sack. Really, break sack and speed is really what distinguishes a lot of these quarterbacks. So that's going to hurt Brady here compared to, like, the mobile guys. But he can make every throw under pressure at 99. He won't miss any throws under pressure, basically. He has 99 on a lot of things. He's a solid B to me. I like Brady. I like Marino. I like those types of quarterbacks. I know a lot of people may even argue that he could be C or D just based on 67 speed alone. But I personally think you can still make it work with Brady and being able to make every throw. Plus, also, he's the only quarterback that you can use for the Patriots in MUT. There's no other. Brian Hoyer, I think, is the second best quarterback. You don't have any other options, so maybe that helps him a little bit as opposed to what with Big Ben. Next up, Drew Brees. Drew Brees, a worse Brady. Not much to say here. He'll probably get a new card. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets maybe a blockbuster. Hopefully not. We don't really need a new Brees because, he'll just get a little bit more speed. He's great. He gets all the, he makes most of the throws, but I feel like Brady's just a little bit better, though he is -4 speed. I've used Brees. He's short as well, 6 foot. So I think Brady's just a little bit better of a Brees. Not much else to say, I don't think. Cameron Newton, S tier. One of the best quarterbacks in MUT. He only has 89 speed. Probably will be the slowest quarterback, we'll say, in S tier. Maybe, but 89 speed, makes all the throws, really great quarterback, and he can spin. He has 86 trucking. You could even put, if you wanted to, you could actually put power run on him so he gets the 90 truck, so he gets the glitchy truck animations as well. With 78 carrying, you wish was a little bit higher, but he's a beast. He's an absolute stud, one of the best quarterbacks in MUT. Derek Carr, 83 speed, Derek Carr. You don't have any other option for the Raiders for quarterbacks. We're going to go ahead and put him in at C tier, probably a little above Brady. Not that I'm actually ranking these because that would be probably too hard, but 96 throw power, so he has that. He can make all the throws if you power him up with Go Deep, or you could just pick him up and just put Go Deep and Madden Boost. So he can make all the throws, which is nice, which you can't say that about every quarterback on this list. And he does have solid speed. He's okay, just unfortunately, not as good as a lot of other quarterbacks. Throw under pressure is low, break sack is low, so he's a C. Kirk Cousins, 80 speed, low break sack. Something, though, is weird about this card, and I feel like a lot of people like this card, and I'm confused, but it's a good card. It is something about it, and maybe it's we're going to talk about some other cards later on. He just seems to play well, and, he's definitely better than all these guys we've seen in C. He's maybe on the lower end of B for me. I still think I might rather have Brady, even with the slower speed, but he does have 80 speed, which is nice. Compared to other quarterbacks you may see in the B tier. His break sack is low, but really, he can make every throw, so I'll give him a B. Next up, we have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, 81 speed. He's a D. Unfortunately, I do think you could make the case for him being C. He is the only option for the Cowboys at quarterback. They don't have another quarterback in the game right. If you're running a Cowboys theme team, I cannot believe they haven't given Dak or somebody. Bring back Romo. That would be awesome. Bring back Romo. That would be crazy. Crazy awesome. I think I could make the case for C tier. I mean, he can't throw deep though. His throw accuracy deep is only 81, so he's gonna miss throws deep. I don't like quarterbacks that miss throws. I'm gonna put him at D. Andy Dalton. He's a D. Obviously, he's going to be missing throws. He's definitely worse than Dak. He might be the worst quarterback on the list. So, sorry, Dalton. Bengals have no other choice for a quarterback, though. Another team that you can't really blame. I mean, Dalton's not a great real-life quarterback, so it just stinks to have a Bengals theme team right now with Dalton. Daniel Jones. 84 speed. Throwing under pressure is a little low. I do think I'm going to put him in the C tier. I know he's faster than like a Brady, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know nobody uses this card. So I don't think there'll be too much complaints about it, but his low break sack, his throwing under pressure at 84. Again, another quarterback. His throwing the run's not even great. With the 84 speed is nice compared to some quarterback. He's faster than these guys at B tier, but speed's not everything. I'm gonna put him in C. Nick Foles. Nick Foles is an interesting one. Only 76 speed, a low break sack, but everything else is absolutely fantastic on him. I think you could probably argue he could be a high C, low B. But if I put Brady here, I've used Foles, and I really like Foles. I think he actually plays pretty well for me. So I'm actually going to leave Foles here at the B tier. I think B. I think B's fine. Josh Allen, 88 speed, 6'5". It's one of those guys that another guy, he just plays really, really well. Even though the speed may not be as high as maybe a couple guys in this A tier, though 88's pretty good. Compared to a lot of quarterbacks in the game, but even his break sack isn't crazy high at 88. But he's just I don't know if it's the size or what it is, but he just plays so well. He is an A for me, a solid A. Kyler Murray, S, 94 speed. Everything is insane on this card. I'm looking at this right now. He can spin. He's elusive. His break sack is 95. His break tackle is 90 as well. So even when you scramble like designed runs, he's insanely good. Maybe the best quarterback in MUT. I don't know if you want to go that far, but he can reach all the way up. He doesn't have a power up, but he can get all the way up to 97 speed, which he won't be the fastest quarterback on the list, but he's definitely close. S tier through and through. Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson, S. S plus, maybe. Only quarterback that can reach 99 speed without even powering him up. Sprinter and Madden, easy. He can spin. He's got the high break sack. His throwing the pressure is a little low, but I mean, outside of that, like he's a beast. And I know a lot of people I've heard this. He's the best quarterback in MUT. From other people, I've heard that. I'm not sure I'll go as far as that, but he's definitely in the S tier for sure. Captain Andrew Luck, 86 speed. Great throw power. Obviously, he's going to make all the throws. He is an A tier for me. Based on what you see in the B tier, you probably would argue that, and I think most people would say he's better than all of those. I'd be interested to see where you guys would rank. I think most people would probably put Luck in A tier. Maybe you could put him in B. Again, we're looking at like only the top quarterbacks, so like I feel like A is might feel a little high, but he's just a quarterback that just feels really good, gets rid of the ball quick. Just his release actually in Madden is quick compared to some other quarterbacks. So I love Andrew Luck. I love using him in MUT always. He just plays so well. He's one of those guys that, to me, feels good when I play with him. So he's definitely an A. Patrick Mahomes, another A tier for me. Patrick Mahomes, 88 speed, throwing the pressure at 89. That's really the only time, really knock you have on him. He can't spin, I guess. There's some things that you could also say that maybe you wouldn't like with other quarterbacks, or you would prefer in quarterbacks, but he's an A tier. He doesn't do everything extremely well, but I do think he's an A. I didn't love his harvest card. I thought it just didn't feel really good. But now that he's got this card, since I've used his power up on the Chiefs team, that helps as well with the more speed. He really does play quite well, and I think you could definitely say he's another solid A guy just like Andrew Luck. Dan Marino. Well, I may have tipped my hand at it. When I put Brady here, I guess I gotta put Marino. Brady has, I think, a little bit more speed, but they're pretty similar quarterbacks. I love Marino. He makes every throw. Obviously, he's a beast for me in the pocket. It does stink not having any mobility at all, but sometimes it's more fun that way. Just dotting people up. You gotta do it sometimes. He's also I think the only choice for the Dolphins. So again, you have that with Brady. You don't have any other option, unlike with like Big Ben. So I'm gonna give him a B. Marcus Mariota, 91 speed. I think he may be the fastest one in the A tier, at least so far. He definitely is. 91 speed. His break sack for a mobile guy is not as good as some other guys at 82, but he can do everything. The only knock, really, if I had to knock on him, really, he even has crazy high throw under pressure, is his spin move is 84 and his throw power is 93. So you have to choose which one you want, and you'll probably go with the throw power to get that up. But you can't spin without getting the throw power up. So that's the one knock, I guess. You can only have one or the other, but nobody in the A tier has that even option. That can even spin. I mean, they have the throw power, but I think he's probably the top end of the A tier in my opinion. He's big at 6'4" as well, got good size. A lot of these guys at the top. I do like the quarterbacks that are a little bit bigger as well. Generally, for me, I like them a little bit better. So really good quarterback. He's probably top end of A. Donovan McNabb, 90 speed stock. Yeah, he's an S. He's definitely an S. Has everything you would want. He can spin. He has crazy high break sack. Again, I mentioned those just because a lot of quarterbacks, that's really what separates them. With the 90 speed, if you have Legends Kim on him with the power up and all that, you can get him up to 95 speed. Obviously, if you're running an Eagles team or a Redskins team or Vikings team, is that right? Did I get all of them that he's played for? Maybe I missed one. If you run any of those teams that have the option to run McNabb, you're probably going to use him as your quarterback. He's insanely good. And to me, I've used him, and I do think he's a notch below Kyler for me, but he's still definitely S. Otto Graham. Now, this one's a little tricky for me because Otto Graham is one that has the great throw under pressure, has the ability to truck at 90 truck stock. You're going to have to put go deep on him. You can get if you power it up, you get up 95, but 97, I think you get his all the power up. So his throw accuracy, his throw power is actually not that bad at 92. You can definitely get it up quite a lot. His speed at 81 is solid. I'm debating between B and C. I definitely think you could make the case for B. It really depends on how you play. The fact that he has 85 carrying with the ability to truck, he can't spin, but he's going to be pretty tough to bring down in open space if you're more of a, design runs like draws and options. Definitely a B tier. If you're more of a mobile, move around a little bit more, and you want to be able to obviously make all the throws and stuff, you probably put him more at C tier. I'm going to actually put him at B. I think he's, as a 95, he's really, really good. He's the only Browns option, really. Baker needs a new car. I mean, Baker's also a fine option, but they both need upgrades. Baker, obviously, people want that. But I definitely think I like him. I know his throw, his release, unlike Andrew Luck, is a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. So you're not going to like that. But I still think he's a fun card. And the mobility's there, the trucking's there. My style, I kind of like it. So I like Otto. Next up, Phillip Rivers. He's a D. I'll put him ahead of, maybe. Can I please put him above Dak? Thank you. Dak wanted to stay. Phillip Rivers is a D. Unfortunately, you have Drew Brees here as well as the Chargers. I didn't even need to put Phillip on this list because you already have Brees. But to me, I couldn't leave him off because it's Phillip Rivers. He's been playing for the Chargers obviously his whole career. He's been there forever. It's just he's slower than Brees. He's just so slow. He just doesn't offer anything. He is better than these guys in my opinion because he can make all the throws, but he's just so slow and he just doesn't offer anything that some of these guys above him offer. So I've got to put him in D. Aaron Rodgers, A. Now that might surprise you a little bit because he's right there with like a Cousin speed and Otto Graham speed. Though I don't think many people are arguing Otto Graham is A. But Aaron Rodgers is, to me, like Andrew Luck. And honestly, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if people said something like this. He's a top end of A tier. He's one of those guys that really fast release, Just seems to play like Andrew Luck. Him and Andrew Luck, I think, plays extremely similar with how they are. Andrew Luck obviously has a little bit more speed on him. I mean, really, I love the way Rodgers plays, and I think if you play with a Rodgers, you understand. Like, he just seems to play really, really well. The only knock, of course, not only knock, there's a few knocks. His break sack is not as high as some of these, top guys. Obviously, that's why he's an A tier. Also, he can't spin, he can't do any of that stuff. So, but 82 speed is fine. You wish it was a little bit higher, but he's insane. He's a beast. Next up, Russell Wilson, 89 speed, can spin if you decide to put zone run on him, which may actually be the choice. Yeah, he's an A tier. He is a little shorter, which I don't generally like with my quarterbacks being that short, but I'm looking at 89 speed. He's obviously, not obviously, he's not quite the fastest guy in the tier in A, but I do think he's solidly in A. All these quarterbacks are really, really good, but 89 speed is really, 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 really solid for the A tier, and I do think I think that's fair. I think A is pretty good. Mitchell Trubisky, sorry, D. Again, he does a low overall. I do think, he has good throw power, but really nothing else that offers. I mean, he doesn't even have the throw accuracy deep, though, to go with it. Not saying he's going to miss every throw, but 86 speed, again, is solid. I do think he is probably, a step above, these guys here. And you could even argue above Phillip Rivers just because he has so much speed on him. 23 speed or something like that on him. But he will miss, throws occasionally. So I got to put him in D tier just because that does hurt me. I can't have quarterbacks missing throws. Michael Vick. Yes. Clearly, he's been the best quarterback in much of the year. You could argue between him and Lamar probably now, but he's definitely one of the best. There's not much else to say. He can do everything. He's got the throw power. He can spin. He can juke. He's elusive. He has high break sack. He'll cheat your brains in. If you run Legends Kim, you can get that up to 99 speed as well. He has 94. The nice thing about Lamar is he just has 90. I mean, he just has 96 speed, so you can just pick him up. You don't even have to power him up. Unless you want the second Kim, which you may want, of course. But the nice thing is you can just get the 99 speed really easy. Michael Vick maybe not as easy, but still, I mean, they're right there, neck and neck. Next up to Shawn Watson. 89 speed, which is solid. He can't spin, but he does have that high break sack. Throwing to pressure is kind of low. It is lower than Mahomes. If I had to rank these, I'd probably put Watson, he is probably the end of the A tier. I'd probably put Rodgers. I'd probably put Luck. I love Luck. I don't know why. I'd probably put Luck. I'd probably go something like this maybe for my A tier. But I do still think he's probably a step above all these guys. You could argue he's the top of the B tier as well. He does have high speed, which is nice. At 89 speed compared to these other, some of these other guys in the A tier. Obviously, he beats everybody in the B tier. But 89 speed, which is solid. I've used him a lot. He does miss throws under pressure quite a lot with that 84 throw under pressure. So great break sack though. He will cheat your opponents sometimes, which is nice. You love cheating your opponents when it's when you're cheating. So definitely for me an A. And finally we have Steve Young, 89 speed. I do think he's a little bit worse than McNabb for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and say he is an A tier. But I feel like Steve Young is great quarterback. He's probably one of the top end A's. He is a lefty. If you, right, he is a lefty, right? Yeah, I think he's a lefty. Am I going crazy? He's a lefty, right? But he is a lefty, so you may not, that may be a deterrent, or you may like that if you've been using Vick. But Steve Young's a beast. Really, all of those A tier quarterbacks are very good, but he's probably the top of the A. Okay, that's my definitive list that I made. Definitely tweet at me if you make your own list using this. You don't have to use mine, of course. You can make your own. Though I did already cut all these pictures out, which takes a minute. No, not really. You just copy a bunch of them and then you cut out one, and then you can just basically use that same cutout for all of them. It actually is not that hard. But anyway, I already did it. So if you want to use my list, you can do that. The link down below again. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Again, this is my own opinion. You may disagree, of course. That's fair. You may disagree. That's good. That's good for conversation. Let me know down below, or you can tweet at me at ChewbaccaLemma. Your list. That would be cool. But that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other ideas for these, let me know as well. That's always appreciated. Yeah, that's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma out.